My name's Abisola and I directed this episode.
And my name's Abisola and I was Chloe Webber.
And my name's Steph Morris and I was the second assistant director.
So we're watching this this opening sequence, which we wanted to say that everything was rosy in the garden, and everything was absolutely fine. Like, have you ever seen a film called Edward Scissorhands?
Yeah, it's really good.
We wanted all the colours to be really bright and all the flowers in the garden to have been kind of perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic visual, yeah.
Yeah, it's really good.
The only problem was that we shot it in February. There's a tree there. You can see a tree without any leaves on it.
Oh no.
And keeping those flowers nice and... Well, they're all plastic, actually. You can see sweet peas actually grow on... they only grow on fences and kind of stalks, but they're actually going out straight out of the ground there.
Wow. Oh, I look scary.
Freezing cold out there and lovely and warm in the studio.
It wasn't even cold outside, that was the thing. It was cold outside, actually.
Oh, it was. Do you remember all the thermals everyone had to wear?
Yeah. Foot thermal, back thermal, everything.
Absolutely.
That teddy bear there was an afterthought, actually. We did the tracking shot that moved across you, and then at the last minute we saw this teddy bear in the corner of the set, and we just kind of placed it in.
Because when I was filming, I've never seen that before. I don't think that was a good camera trick that you just did over there.
I think.
Wow. Cool.
I mean, in that sequence leading up, I mean, ordinarily in Doctor Who, we try and use lots of computer graphics to kind of make a character disappear. You know, when you see the TARDIS dematerializing, there's an effect on it. But in this episode, we decided to do everything quite traditionally. So when a character disappears, it's on the cut, on the camera angle. So suddenly, when you cut back to that angle, it's just gone. Yeah,
That's
And the boy's gone.
That's really good.
Old-fashioned scary style.
Do you remember the Kookaburra song?
Yeah.
And do you remember that we changed
To a minor.
to a minor key, didn't we?
Yeah.
From the major key, just to make it a little more scary.
Scarier, and it worked. It really did work. It was just really wow, she is a scary little girl.
This TARDIS trick, that gag there, I can't believe nobody's ever done it before.
But it works so well.
And this is the Shane Ward gag. Shane Ward's greatest hits.
It's fantastic.
Do you? Is it?
I just think it's very funny.
I was in two minds. We had an alternative version, which was Franz Ferdinand's greatest hits, because they're big fans of the show, apparently.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But we didn't have enough posters. We only had one repeat, so we left it. We stuck with Shane Ward. So do you think this is what it will look like in 2012?
Probably, because these houses really look modern, really nice.
We wanted to get some concept cars, some kind of brand newly designed cars from car manufacturers, but in the end it didn't work out. So
No, it's unfortunate we couldn't get those cars. We've got the license plates. They're dated 2009, so the story's 2012, and we backdated them so they're not brand new cars in the story.
So, these kids that we see, how did we go about choosing those stuff?
We did a casting. There's a way we have to allow 21 days to license every child that takes part in the series. So we had to get a group of kids for a casting for yourself to see and for everyone to be happy with. So phone local agencies around Cardiff and the southwest and get all the kids to come in. Long process, but very important that we get everything right.
long did it take you to do that?
Oh, it takes you an evening. We're very lucky in the southwest and Wales because there are so many talented young kids, really, and lots of agencies that provide for them.
So if you wanted to join one of these agencies, what would you do? Just go to the Yellow Pages or something?
I'd go to the Yellow Pages or go online and just look up kids supporting artist agencies or talent agencies.
That's good.
This is the car our executive producer drives,
Oh.
Julie Gardner.
This is Julie's car, is it?
No, it's not actually her car.
Oh.
She always goes, oh, when she sees the car on television. You can see the number plate there. It's got 09 on it, so that's 3 years old in our story.
Dame Kelly Holmes close. We nearly got Kelly Holmes to come in.
Yeah, we were later on in the episode we'll see an Olympic torch bearer, and we were really keen to get her to come in and do it, but unfortunately her dates clashed. And got Tim Faraday there looking quite ominous and.
After this episode, I saw him in the bill.
Did you?
Yeah,
Did he play a criminal or did he play a policeman?
a criminal. He was really good. I remember Abdul always cracking jokes all the time.
We wrote some dialogue into the script, saying, "Oh, you can see your breath. The pod must be stealing all the heat from the street," to explain why all the actors' breaths are
So apparent.
yeah, even in the middle of summer.
And that was actually written in, but not actually. It didn't make it to the final cut.
Yeah, it's
It
in
did.
there. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
in.
Oh, did you see us do this scene?
Yeah, I was upstairs watching,
Okay.
but I had to keep very, very still.
What's the thing you most remember about shooting this, about filming the episode?
The episode going a bit loopy at the end, I think, and always forgetting 3 pencils that I had to take out at the end when I'm trying to draw the world and I say it's not enough, and I'm just running and then I always forget the pencil. I'm like, okay, oops, Daisy, forgot the pencils again.
That thing's difficult, isn't it, when you have to do the same thing,
Yeah.
exactly the same, every time.
Yeah. Like the first scene, I forgot to do the same thing and it looked weird, and I had to do it again and again.
Which first scene?
When the doctor comes, the doctor meets me, the first time doctor meets me.
By the fridge.
Yep.
Mm.
And I had to drink milk. I don't like milk anymore.
Don't blame you. There's a trick that actors have. If they've got a scene where they're eating, that they take a tiny, tiny little bite of the thing that will fill them up the least. Because by the time you've done the scene 25 times, and that's just after breakfast.
I tried that, but then they had to do a close-up, and then, ew. I had to drink even more.
I think what Matthew Graham, the writer of this episode, he's been very clever about combining a kind of detective story for this first half with having fun, and the Doctor and Rose actually really, really enjoying themselves. And they're really enjoying, the Doctor's with hairs on the back of his hands. Oh, this is quite exciting. And something that's quite scary and
menacing.
Mysterious about him. I would be quite looking if he came into my street like that and pretending to stroke something. Oh, what a cute cat.
It's a little pussycat there who did everything we wanted it to do.
Yeah, it was cute.
It didn't really, did it?
Yeah.
I mean, cats famously are untrainable.
Yeah.
That, you can train a dog to do something, but getting a cat to do what you want them to do is virtually next to impossible. Apparently there's a woman who does all the cat food adverts, and she's got bits of cat food inside her cuffs kind of cat food
Tucked
under.
away. Tucked away in a sleeve.
Smells a bit fishy. Just caught a glimpse of our torchbearer there.
There he
Yeah,
is.
there he is again.
Scott Simpson.
How did you find him, Steph?
He immediately, when we knew we wanted to find someone in case we couldn't get a celebrity to play the torch runner, went to a local college in Cardiff called UWIC, University of Wales in Cardiff, Institute in Cardiff, and they have a sports department. And I spoke to them; they were very helpful, fantastic. It's a fantastic setup, and they recommended Scott, who was a student, and I think he was a lecturer as well. And he's actually part of the British athletic squad. He's a pole vaulter, and he went out to Australia about a month after he finished shooting to take part in the Commonwealth Games. I didn't actually follow up to see how he got on, I must say, but I felt quite guilty now. I just suddenly remembered. But no,
I'm sure
absolutely,
he did very well.
I'm sure he did very well. No, very, very nice man. And the best part about it, the next day after his second day of shoot, there was a big spread in a local newspaper with his photograph carrying the torch with a big, "Who is this man?" So,
Who is this man, you know? Just kept one into the box.
a great guy.
To get that shot, we actually there isn't a back to that box. There's a cat wrangler with a handful of cat food,
Food.
tempting her to kind of. Obviously, that's a cheated, different shot.
The cat in the box kept reappearing on the schedule throughout the whole time.
It's a Dr. Zeus story, isn't it?
Yeah.
To see.
For the torchbearers footage, we stole a lot of footage from the London Marathon, and then staged other bits and pieces around Cardiff with a crowd. How many crowd did we have? Was it? I can't remember the figure. Was it 30? Maybe it was a little bit more than
I
that.
think it was a little bit more than that. I think it was about 40.
This scene was probably the most hardest scene I've done.
This one.
Yeah.
Why was it so hard?
Because I didn't want to sound too harsh, like, "Rrr," but I didn't want to sound too soft. But I wanted to sound just right, and it's kind of difficult a bit, because you had to do a bit of both.
And tell us about your drawing, Abby. You know, all that super fast drawing.
Yeah.
How did you do that?
I've got powers! I don't really have powers. It was just a bit of a scribble, and I did it quite fast. And then I think, special effects, I did a bit of...
Yeah, I don't think you're remembering that quite correctly, are you?
What was it?
Because it wasn't your hand, was it?
Oh, yeah! Oh, yeah!
Steph sought high and low to find somebody.
Yeah.
Tinate.
Tinate. That was her hand.
That was her.
No wonder why it looked a bit like wonky.
Tinate does not have a wonky hand.
No, it just doesn't look like my hand. It looks a bit weird.
Maybe the angle's a bit different.
There's the scribble.
That's good.
That's fantastic.
It's wicked.
That is one of the maddest monsters I think we've ever had in Doctor Who.
Absolutely.
Was it a monster, a creature, or a thing?
Well, they call it a scribble creature, don't they?
Wow, that's really cool. Oh, that's just a bit of wire or whatever it is.
Don't spoil it now.
It's good.
But I think all your drawing shots we did at the end of the shoot with Tinate, our hand double, and all we've done, you know, we haven't put that much special effects on it. All we've done is speed it up so it looks kind of super fast.
Wow, I didn't even know it was my... I thought it was my hand.
See, the magic of television.
Wow. Technology these days. You can do anything.
One of the things that, I mean, one of the not the difficulties, but something that you have to weigh very carefully when editing these episodes is where you put music. And this is one of the scenes where we decided not to put music on, so you can just hear the sound of the TARDIS machine kind of rumbling away.
It's a great scene for the TARDIS because it's very tight. You've shot that very tight to the guys, and you're not broadening out. Lovely. And scenes of the TARDIS, you can only look that one direction, as it were.
Yeah, but I don't think anybody at home knows that because in fact we've only got. You saw the TARDIS set, didn't you, Abby?
Yeah.
That we've only got the one half of it.
Yeah.
And often when we shoot it, we cheat the reverses to make it look like it's 360.
Wow.
Difficult environment for you to shoot, especially when you've got something like a crane involved.
What's quite difficult about that set is that the raised floor of the TARDIS, it's a steel floor, and every time you take a step, it creaks. So if you put the camera on there, especially if the camera's on a dolly with that weight, it kind of it's groaning like heck. So it's often better to get a crane so you can put the camera back and it doesn't put its weight on the set.
There wasn't that many scenes with this in the city room.
The downstairs. Do you remember how we split it up? That the downstairs is the actual location, which is in on the east side of Cardiff, and then your bedroom
Is in the Doctor Who set.
Yeah, is in the warehouse.
Yeah, it was actually quite weird because everyone was like, "Are you sure?" Like, no one, you couldn't really see that if you watch it. You have to watch it really carefully. Probably stop it and rewind it. Stop it and rewind it.
How was it to work with somebody who was pretending to be your mum?
It was cool. A lot of people ask this question, but
Did
I
they?
really enjoyed it. I really liked it. And, like, it was different, but it was like, I kept on getting pampered, so that was good. So I was enjoying myself.
The art department came up with those kind of futuristic light switches, and their theory or their idea is that all those light switches are controlled by one central remote control downstairs in the living room. Do you remember the prop they built?
Yeah.
Which was they called it. Do you remember what they called it? I think it was a home pod, was it?
It was something like home in something like that. It was really weird.
They have so much fun in the art department coming up with all these new concepts, don't they?
Wow. Powerful.
Originally in the script, at that moment, all those drawings turned and were animated, but the amount of work that would have taken was too much. We had lots of conversations, didn't we, about whether the Isolus had a voice or Chloe had a voice, or, was Chloe in this scene completely taken over?
Yeah, there was lots of discussions about whether we should, like, mix it up a bit, but it was quite difficult, though. And at the same time, it was good fun.
I think in the end we decided that she was
Gonna be a bit.
She was the Isolus was going to be the stronger character, and so in that scene that the reason that you talk so cool and remote and was because that the Isolus has kind of taken you over.
Yeah. Wow, this is really good.
Fantastic.
I like that change. It was really good. Oh, that bit that I had before, the last line I had, I'm making friends.
That we cut it.
Yeah.
Are you upset?
No.
I think we cut it because that one line just before you all run up the stairs, what are you doing? I'm making friends. We cut it because we wanted to get the actors up the stairs as quickly as possible. So there's this piece of action was underfoot and underway, and we wanted to get there as quickly as we could.
Feisty.
I love what you do there when you kind of cringe when Nina comes and she tries to hug you and you cringe. You don't want her to touch you.
It wasn't acting.
Really?
Her hands were cold.
Okay. That was a happy accident.
I love this speech.
What do you like about it?
It's just so powerful the way he says it, the way it was written. It was really good.
He's always there to help.
Now, this little piece of action is possibly the weirdest little aside that I've come across in the scripts. And originally, Matthew had written that the Doctor goes into the fridge, he picks out a carton of oranges, he's about to take the swig, and then Rose kind of catches him and tells him off. And we just couldn't understand why he'd go into the fridge. What was taking the Doctor into the fridge? So we changed it to jam. And even then, it's a kind of strange thing for somebody to do, isn't it?
Just pick up a jam bowl, open it, and then lick it.
I mean, in the end, we kind of said, well, sometimes he just doesn't quite tune into the mores and the way that human beings behave.
Yep. Wow, I love this scene. It's a great scene.
We wanted this room, even though we were inside and it was going to be quite dark. We wanted the room to be as colourful as possible. And the art department, they found that duvet cover that has got the kind of shapes of the universe and shapes of the planets on it. So there's this sense of...
It's good.
And then behind Nina there's those kind of the flying things. There's a balloon and there's this sense... Again, it kind of echoes with the Isolus's flight.
An awful lot of thought and an awful lot of time goes into the bedrooms, all the sets.
Yeah.
Hugely.
And then, every single bit has to be in place. It's really good.
How many meetings did you have to sort of before the final result? It's meetings beyond.
Yeah, I think because as a director you can't be responsible for every decision about every prop that gets made. So early on, we've got meetings with Russell Davis, who's the exec, and with Phil Collison, who's the producer, and Ed Thomas, who's the designer, and we talk about the broad strokes, we talk about the broad directions, and then they brief their teams, and so the teams are working to the general brief, but not always to every specific.
Oh, that's not my hand, I can tell. That's really good. Yep.
We got Tanate, the young lady who was your hand double from a college in Bristol, from Filton Art College, I believe it was.
That's good.
Again, the Doctor's speech here is about the Isolus's quest for love, and we've got things like that heart shape behind him on the wall, kind of resonating with the subject of his speech.
This is one of the most touching scenes ever.
Do you think?
Yeah, it's kind of one of them. It's like poor girl or poor Isolus, really.
I think again Matthew Graham's script. He's this creature is doing wrong. She's stealing the kids from the street.
But then he's doing right in a way, because all he wants is friends. All he wants to be is back with his family again. But he's not going up with the right way about it.
So you think it's a he?
I don't know.
Well, you just said he. So the Isolus is a boy.
It's Isola boy. I think it should be a girl.
Okay, she.
It doesn't sound right for Isolas. I love to sing. Beautiful. Wow.
Looks like a piece of squid.
It's a great bit of sci-fi, though, the thought of the Isolis being part of billions of other entities floating around the universe.
Oh, this is scary.
Yeah.
The way I'm shaking. And I remember what happened. It wasn't even me.
What, somebody...
I started to get tired of doing that, and then I asked, please, can someone help me? And someone just wobbled the bed.
Yeah, Phil Shellad, who's the standby props, had his hand on your knee, just shaking you. We've also sped it up a little bit.
It looks great.
And that tear,
Yeah.
was that yours?
Yeah.
Did you actually cry?
No.
You were going to pass that off as yours then? That's a little bit of glycerine, isn't it?
Yeah.
Tear stick.
You have to blink once and it came down.
Now, all these scenes in the living room, because it was winter, we shot this in winter, we always had 2 hours at the end of the day of darkness. So they're actually shot at night with some very strong lights through the windows to make it look like it's daylight. Yeah, well, that's
good camera trick.
Yeah, that's Rory Taylor, our director of photography. You can magic night into day.
Excellent. Good.
Because the other thing that the constraint that we have on filming is your age, because we're not allowed to make you work a full working day as we would as a crew. So we have to cut your hours back. So we need things to do within a day that don't involve yourself or a child. Anyone under the age of 16 has to be regulated by their working hours, and you must make sure that you adhere to those guidelines.
It's true. It looks so scary at the window.
I think it's the fact that you don't do anything, that you're just there, that makes it really scary.
Did you take that shot from another bit, the first bit?
We did, we cheated.
Well, I like that one. Sneaky little girl.
They're in trouble now.
Yeah, how dare they?
You're going to get them.
That's one of my favourite props from this series. The scanner.
His scanner.
Yeah, he's got this little hand scanner that he takes with him.
Wow. You can hear the little...
I love the fact that the scanner, like his TARDIS, like his quests, are made up of things that he scavenges as he goes along.
So this is his scanner in his hand now.
Mm.
This is the part that I never get to see being in the office. Is that the hands-on practicality? It's fantastic.
What do you do in a day then, Steph? I mean, I don't mean that rudely. What do you do? No, what does your day consist of?
Well, I'll make sure that when Abby arrives at work, working day on Fear, I'll meet and greet the actors as they arrive in the morning. Make sure that the first set of actors who are required on set for say 8 o'clock on camera are ready, and then the second set of artists come in, and we keep on working, going through, getting the extras ready, making sure that everyone is there for you, all the components that you need to make your days of filming actually work. Oh.
Go, Chloe. Oh, she's vicious.
In that last TARDIS scene, we've had this bombshell where the Doctor says that he was Dad once, and Rose is kind of completely thrown because in all their, the last few years of travelling together, he's never mentioned this, and then suddenly he says that he was a dad.
No, that was in that scene.
Yeah.
Because that's the best thing about Doctor Who. The more and more we go into the series now, the more he develops as a character. And, their relationship as Rose and the Doctor is moving on.
I can't believe it.
In the very first series of Doctor Who ever, he had a granddaughter.
Back in the original series?
Yeah, with William Hartnell. And so I think Russell's referring to that, or Matthew Graham's referring to that, but I'm not sure where that's going to go next.
I think the Doctor has a family, probably somewhere.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Wife?
Yeah, probably, maybe.
I wonder what she thinks about Rose.
Pardon?
I wonder what she would think about Rose.
Back away.
She wouldn't be happy, would she?
The boy who played Cal, Abdul, even though he wasn't in as much scenes, you can tell his character, he had a really, really, really strong personality. Did a really good job on this.
Yeah, Andy Pryor, our casting director, he's very, very clever.
Yeah.
Because when you have a character who's only got, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 scenes, you need to establish them very, very quickly. Yeah. And Andy's very clever at choosing people with, like you say, strong personalities or strong looks, or to play those characters and make them memorable roles.
Yep, he's very good. He's very good. He picked the right person.
What, in you or in him?
All of us.
How did he? How did you come about being in this episode?
Because I go to a school called MPV, New Peckham Varieties, and one day we were just doing Cinderella Shoeshine, and all of a sudden we saw Andy.
Cinderella Shoeshine, was that a show?
That was a show that I was doing, a production at school, and all of a sudden Andy Pryor pops up, and oh, can you do this? And then everybody's on that, and he picked 2 girls. And then we went to his office in central London, and we did another audition, because he gave us the script the night before. They sent the script to us.
Yeah.
And then I just had a phone call, and said I got it. And was actually quite stern. I was like, okay. I just didn't know what to say. Shocked.
Now, the shots of the stadium are cobbled from many different stadiums
around the world.
Well, around Cardiff.
Oh, right.
No, around, there's some of the Millennium Stadiums in there, but we tweaked the colour.
Oh, right.
Because they're
red seating in
green and
stadium.
red, yeah, and so and then the most of the stadium shots are from the Commonwealth Games Stadium in Manchester, and we've stolen some of their footage.
Come on. Wow. Go on. I remember drawing that. You drew 1, drew half, cut, play again, cut.
Yeah, we kind of did it in little stages, didn't we?
Yeah, and until it was actually done. Ooh.
And that's the voice of Paul McFadden.
Paul.
Playing the dad in the wardrobe.
Is that Paul?
Yeah, and Paul's our dubbing editor.
That's good.
And he was also the voice of the werewolf.
Was
he?
Yeah. And what else has he been?
A man of many abilities.
Man of many voices. All of them scary.
Oh, that's very nice.
He's a very hard-working man, Paul.
When we was filming it, Phil was the one that said it, was doing the voice.
And we've got Hugh Edwards
doing the commentary,
which was fantastic because he came in and I think he really enjoyed himself.
He started covering the Queen's processions and events now, isn't he, on BBC? So.
Yeah, well, he's kind of the voice of the news at 10.
He is.
And And it kind of having a recognisable voice like that on the commentary kind of gives it a weight and a reality.
Wow.
These poor people in the crowd. They were so cold. And they didn't complain. Well, they didn't complain on set.
I think that experience of kind of standing there having to cheer, and then as soon... Oh, that's my friend Mel and Dom and their kids. They came along.
I love this.
That experience of kind of having to kind of be out there in your t-shirt in kind of sub-zero temperatures and pretending it's summer and cheering, and then as soon as the cut comes, everybody rushing in with coats. And those hand warmers, and
it was a hands-on event that day, keeping everyone
Ooh,
trying to keep everyone happy.
Wow. Great.
Did you know what it would look like when you were doing the scene?
All I remember was where it was going to come out of, and that was all. I love this bit as well.
It's sweet, isn't it?
Oh, poor girl. Ooh. Wow.
Everyone's back.
I remember that boy. I remember this.
And that's my friend Karen. She's a primary school teacher.
Really?
Yeah. She's very good. Really good.
Is she a primary school teacher in Wales?
Yeah, in Hirwaun.
Oh.
Edna Dorey. What a delightful lady.
And for her as well, I mean, having to be out in those cold temperatures, not really, not a word.
She didn't complain.
Uh-oh.
No.
There's kind of some classic thriller elements here where doors slamming and people trapped in houses and screaming and kind of pulling at the door handle. Let us out, let us out.
Oh yeah, I remember that sound. Hello.
Do you remember us having the wind machine on this day?
Yeah, and there was I think it was sand that was being poured.
Yeah, dust pouring down as if Dad upstairs was kind of... The only thing is that the wind machine didn't have much effect on your hair, did it? Because it was pulled back.
Nope.
You can barely see it.
Those braids keep tight.
Something else that was quite difficult about this scene was that Billy had to go off to be... do you remember that she had to leave because there was a Radio Times party that day, and so all these scenes with you, all these shots with you and Nina this side of the door, it was just the two of you, wasn't it?
Yeah, but then some of this was filmed before, and then you put together.
Mm.
That's good.
And that's Clive, our electrician's shadow on the wall there.
Clive Johnson.
Yeah,
Clive Johnson.
the big one.
Yeah, it's not so big anymore. He's lost lots of weight.
Clive
No, I was talking about his height.
Oh right, yeah, he's just as tall, yeah.
Poor girl. Bob.
There's a script transition from day to night here. So suddenly all these shots on the TV and in the stadium at night, whereas we've just seen Rose on the doorstep in day, and I think we get away with it. Don't think anybody notices because we're so happy to find the Doctor here.
Yeah. The way he just reappears.
Yeah.
And that cheesy grin.
Who's Cheesy Grin?
The Doctor, David. Aww. So he's a happy ending. It's lovely.
I think when I read the script, I don't think I'd bargained for how emotional this moment would be. And I think it's that feeling you get when you're in a whether it's a rugby match or I've never been to an Olympic opening ceremony, but I imagine being there with 80,000 people in that moment. It gives you that feeling of joy and I think love, I guess, in the way that Abisola is looking for it.
And everybody's happy, everything's come back to normal.
Reunited.
Did you get to eat one of those cakes? No.
No.
Did you? You did?
They were very nice.
Oh. I only got a donut.
All this scene has been revoiced because we had problems with the microphones.
Never.
Yeah, I don't think you'd ever imagine.
No, that's... Sorry. The amount of that you have to do is to go back and do ADR.
There's a really interesting scene direction for this moment, which was that the explosives go off around them like they were in the middle of a battlefield. Ooh, Rose doesn't look very happy, does she?
No.
Wow.
Tracy Ann Oberman.
I've not seen this episode yet. I can't wait. Wow.
Oh, she was in EastEnders.
Ooh.
Wow.
So was he.
Definitely tuning in for that. Boys with guns.
Oh.
Oh.
The Cybermen return.
Oh. Wow.
Is that Mickey?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, is that him? Dun, 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 dun.
Episode 12. Well, fantastic episode.
Episode of Agbaje, AGB,
Thoroughly enjoyable.
Oh, that was
What's your name, Steph? Hooray! And your name, Abby?
We missed Abby's name.
I was full.
And that very, very hard-working crew that is
Yes, it's beautiful.
Doctor Who.
Stand by props, Phil.
That's the best thing about Doctor Who, about the team pulling together and making it all work.
There's so many.
Oh no, look at them all.
And we're only on the 2D artists.
Lots of these people we never get to meet on a regular basis because they're always tucked away working.
Original theme music. Wow, that's good.
And there are the bosses.
Russell TTs. Wow.
Those who must be obeyed.